Alright, hi, my name is Sean Richards with Muvu Media. These lessons are about the projects that we're going to be doing. The purpose of these projects is basically so that if you start them and you go from 1 to 20, by the end of it, we are sure that you will be able to contribute to our game and app projects. That's all it's about. It's sort of a gauntlet. You go through it, by the end of it, if you survive and you do everything right, you're suitable warrior for Muvu Media. It's just a way to sort of make sure that you can contribute. We can't really afford to hire people or have people working on projects whose skills aren't up to par. So that's mostly what it's about. It's also so that everybody's going to be sort of on the same page. We know that you know a lot about animation and illustration and that you're very good, but we also need to make sure that everybody is using the same sort of conventions, the same sort of pipeline. And the stuff that we're going to show you here, doing things this way, is going to make sure that you at least know how to use the same programs we do and do things in the same way that we do. And it's pretty universal stuff. We use Photoshop and we use Flash, and those programs are pretty fundamental. I mean, there's a lot of other programs like them, but between the two of them you'll have the basics of illustration and the basics of animation down enough so that you can contribute to the games and apps that we work on. And we'll make more of these in the future when we do more projects and we find more programs that will be useful for people to learn. Okay, so the first assignment is description. And basically the purpose of this assignment is so that you think about everything beforehand before you draw. If a lot of artists, they go and they just kind of wing it. They just kind of don't really know what they're going to draw as they draw, and they wonder why their canvas at the end of 2 hours comes out blank or looks generic. I mean, somewhere along the line you have to think about everything that you're going to draw. You have to make a lot of decisions as to how things look. So it's just easier to do that ahead of time. I mean, sure, you can do it on the fly. Some artists do great imaginative stuff when they don't know what they're doing the whole time, and it's just sort of, they can do it on the fly, but we don't want to rely on that. We want to make sure that you think of it ahead of time. So basically all you really do is you go on to any sort of program that can make a text document. And you just type up a description of your character and your environment. And just imagine the character and the environment in your head. Close your eyes, think about how you want this character to look. I mean, you're going to have the background be at eye level, so the horizon line is going to be in the center of the page, and you're just looking at some characters doing something in front of a background. How does it look? So I'm closing my eyes and thinking about it. I'm thinking I see a vampire mouse, older, mid-40s, so I don't know, like some sort of sleazy looking beard, red cape, tattered, sunglasses. He's got narrow shoulders. He's got wide hips. He's got white gloves, and he's standing in front of an old alleyway. Brick walls, posters on the wall of wanted people, spray paint, green spray paint on the walls, raw sewage on spilled on ground, oozing down, 'em, 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 metal framed pipe gutter between the ground and the wall. The ground is gray. It's night time. There's a green lit street lamp at the top right of the screen. The time period is 1980s and it's in New York. Thinking about this guy, he's probably going to be taller. Let's say 4 heads tall. Okay, that's good. Okay, I could elaborate on it more, but the idea is basically you just want to have everything covered. You want to basically not leave anything to chance and have as many of those things thought about as possible. I mean, ideally you want to have this be like a page long and just think about everything that's going to happen. And then when you're done with that, think about what you're actually going to have your character doing. So, animation. Mouse descends onto the stage, right? Floats down with arms crossed over chest and lands on his feet arrogantly, takes a bow, then pulls cape across his face with his right arm, then pulls it away and behind him very fast, and beams of red laser light shoot out of his eyes. Then a puff of smoke makes him disappear. Now, I probably copied that from some video game I saw in my childhood. I have no idea where any of that shit came from, but that's what you're supposed to do. You just want to have character, environment, animation thought about. Now, I can picture that in my mind, I can look at it, I can revise it later, but at least I have a starting point for what I'm going to draw, and I'm not just drawing this without having thought about it. Actually, I'm going to stick a garbage can in there too. Old Oscar the Grouch style garbage can off to the left of screen with Alley Cat sitting on top. And then part of the animation is Alley Cat gets shot and toasted with laser beam, and he gets, how do you call that? When they turn all like crispy and their color changes all black, he becomes all grayed out and smoking, and his eyes bugging out and steam rising off him. He had a bad night. Alright, that's an animation. I like it. I'm ready to make it. And you better like your animation, because remember, you're going to be spending like a month or more on this thing, and you're going to get really sick of it. So make sure that you come up with something that you're excited about and you're going to want to work on. Okay, that's good for this assignment. When you're done, just save it as description .txt and just save it in your SkyDrive. Now, I don't have access to the SkyDrive right now, but what you want to do is you want to go to this site, muvupublic.weebly.com, and on muvupublic.weebly.com go to SkyDrive and just follow these instructions. Make a SkyDrive